Welcome to our channel History of Coins, where we explore the hidden gems of numismatics. In today's video, we're diving into the fascinating world of U.S. state quarter-dollar coins, as some of these coins are rare and can make you rich overnight. In this video, we are gonna uncover the rarest coins and their values. So make sure to watch the complete video and find out if you have one of these. Now let's continue our today's video. Top 1 today, we're talking about one of the most fascinating coins from the United States, the Indiana State Quarter Dollar from 2002. At first glance, it might look like just another regular quarter, but trust me, this coin has some incredible secrets that make it extremely valuable and exciting for collectors all around the world. So, sit back, relax, and listen carefully, because by the end of this video, you might just want to check your coin stash immediately. The Indiana State Quarter was released in 2002 as part of the legendary 50 State Quarters program by the U.S. Mint. This series celebrated each of the 50 states with unique designs that highlighted their history, culture, and pride. The Indiana Quarter represents the 19th state to join the Union, and its design perfectly captures the state's deep connection with speed, innovation, and history. It's not just a coin. It's a tiny piece of American identity and a proud symbol of Indiana's achievements. On the obverse side of this coin, you'll see the familiar portrait of George Washington, the first president of the United States, along with the inscriptions United States of America, Liberty, and Quarter Dollar. But the real charm lies on the reverse side. The back of the coin features a stunning design showing an open-wheel race car, representing Indiana's world-famous Indianapolis 500 race, speeding past the outline of the state. Above it, the words Crossroads of America are inscribed, which is Indiana's proud nickname. The 19 stars around the design honor Indiana's entry as the 19th state in the Union. Every element on this coin reflects Indiana's spirit of motion, progress, and pride. Now, here's where things get interesting. The 2002 Indiana Quarter was minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, but not all of them are created equal. While millions of coins were made for circulation, only a handful possess special characteristics, minting errors, or pristine conditions that make them worth far more than face value. These are the coins that collectors dream of finding. One of the most famous errors found on some Indiana quarters is the double die error. In this type of error, certain parts of the coin's design, like the letters, stars, or even the car outline, appear slightly doubled. This happens during the minting process when the die strikes the coin more than once without perfect alignment. For seasoned collectors, a double die error instantly boosts the coin's value because it's so rare and visually distinct. Another remarkable variant is the off-center strike error, where the design is not perfectly centered on the coin. This gives the quarter a unique and uneven appearance that stands out immediately. The greater the off-center strike, the rarer and more desirable the coin becomes. Then there's the planchet error, which occurs when the metal blank used to make the coin is defective or incomplete. Sometimes you'll find an Indiana quarter with missing edges, unusual colors, or even incomplete designs, all of which can send its price skyrocketing at auction. Collectors also keep an eye out for coins with mirror-like proof finishes or those in mint state condition, meaning they have never been used in circulation. A flawless, shiny Indiana quarter straight from a mint set or a coin roll can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on its condition and certification. The highest values are always achieved by coins that remain in perfect, untouched states, especially those graded by professional coin grading services like PCGS or NGC. What truly makes the Indiana 2002 quarter so appealing is its combination of beauty, symbolism, and mystery. Every coin tells a story. This one tells the tale of America's racing capital, its drive for progress, and the perfection that collectors crave. You might be surprised to know that some coin experts and enthusiasts have spent years hunting for just the right variant of this quarter, hoping to find that one special piece that turns out to be worth a small fortune. And here's the part that makes every collector's heart race. There have been reports of rare Indiana 2002 quarters with a perfect strike, rare minting errors, and uncirculated luster selling for incredibly high amounts at private auctions and collector markets. These coins, though small in size, represent the thrill of discovery, the excitement of finding treasure in something so ordinary. So, before you spend that old quarter lying in your drawer, take a close look at it. Grab a magnifying glass, inspect the edges, check for doubling, off-center details, or unusual features. Who knows? You might be holding one of the rarest quarters in the entire 50-state series. And now, for the part you've all been waiting for, the value reveal. A rare Indiana State quarter from 2002, in perfect uncirculated condition with distinct minting errors, has been known to sell for as much as $84,000. Yes, you heard that right. $84,000 for a single quarter. It's truly amazing how a simple piece of metal can hold such incredible value when rarity, condition, and history come together. So, my fellow coin collectors and treasure seekers, don't underestimate the power of a small coin. The next time you receive change or dig through an old jar, take a closer look. You never know, you might just be holding a hidden fortune in your hand. Top 2. Today's journey takes us to one of the most iconic and powerful states in American history, New York. We're exploring the United States of America state quarter dollar from 2001, a coin that represents courage, pride, and resilience. But here's the twist. This tiny quarter can be worth far more than its face value. In fact, some rare versions of this coin have stunned collectors and auction houses alike. So, stay tuned till the end, because you'll be amazed when you hear how much this small piece of history can be worth today. The New York State Quarter was released in 2001 as part of the legendary 50 State Quarters program by the U.S. Mint, which celebrated each state with a unique design. New York, the 11th state to join the Union, was honored with a breathtaking coin that carries not just the image of a state, but the spirit of a nation. It was the first state quarter issued after the year 2000, and it came at a time when America was about to face one of its most defining moments. Let's take a closer look at the design that makes this coin so meaningful. On the obverse side, you'll find the familiar portrait of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan, surrounded by the inscriptions United States of America, Liberty, and quarter dollar. But flip it over, and the magic begins. The reverse design of the New York quarter is nothing short of iconic. It features the Statue of Liberty, standing tall and proud in front of the state's outline, with lines tracing the routes of the Hudson River and the Erie Canal, symbolizing New York's role as a gateway to freedom and opportunity. Around the edges, you'll see 11 stars, representing New York's place as the 11th state to ratify the Constitution. The words "Gateway to Freedom" are boldly inscribed, making this coin a tribute to both history and hope. But what really excites collectors are not just the designs. It's the rarity and errors that make some of these coins incredibly valuable. Millions of New York quarters were minted in 2001 at Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, but only a few special ones contain the kind of errors or pristine conditions that make them worth a fortune. One of the most talked about versions is the double die error. In this rare variation, you can spot subtle doubling in the text, stars, or even on parts of the Statue of Liberty itself. These doubling effects happen during the minting process when the die strikes the coin more than once without proper alignment. To the trained eye, this slight imperfection is a sign of true rarity. Collectors hunt for such pieces because the double die error can multiply a coin's value dramatically. Another highly desirable version is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin's design is not perfectly centered during minting, creating an uneven edge that looks almost artistic. The more off-center the image is, while still keeping the date and details visible, the rarer the coin becomes. These misstruck pieces often sell for thousands of dollars to dedicated collectors who appreciate their unique, one-of-a-kind appearance. Then there's the clipped planchet error, a fascinating minting flaw where a small part of the coin's edge appears bitten off. This occurs when the blank metal used to make the coin overlaps during cutting. These unusual shapes are rare, and depending on the size of the clip, can turn an ordinary New York quarter into a collector's dream. Of course, not every valuable coin has an error. Some of the most expensive New York quarters are those that remain in mint state condition, perfectly preserved, with mirror-like surfaces and no signs of wear. Coins graded MS 68 or higher by professional grading companies like PCGS or NGC can sell for astonishing amounts, especially if they come from special proof sets or have a perfect strike. Another fascinating variety is the silver-proof New York quarter, produced at the San Francisco Mint. These coins were never meant for circulation. They were struck in pure silver and sold in collector sets. Over the years, many have been lost, melted, or damaged, making surviving examples extremely valuable, especially those that have remained untouched since 2001. That the New York quarter's deep symbolism adds to its appeal. Released in 2001, the same year as the tragic September 11th attacks, this coin became an emblem of American strength and unity. The image of the Statue of Liberty, standing firm as a beacon of hope, took on even greater meaning. Collectors across the world began to see this coin not just as currency, but as a piece of living history. Now, imagine finding one of these rare pieces tucked away in a jar or an old wallet. It's an incredible feeling when a small coin in your hand carries both emotional and monetary value. Over the years, collectors have paid astonishing sums for these rare New York quarters, especially those with clear errors, perfect grades, or exceptional luster. They're small, but they tell a story of craftsmanship, pride, and national spirit. If you've got a few state quarters lying around, now's the time to take a closer look. Examine them under good light or even with a magnifying glass. Check for doubling, off-center details, clipped edges, or any unusual shine that makes your coin stand out. Because you never know, one of these might be worth more than you can imagine. And now, the moment every collector waits for, the value reveal. A rare 2001 New York State quarter dollar, in flawless uncirculated condition with exceptional minting errors, has been known to sell for an incredible $81,000. Yes, you heard that right. $81,000 for a single quarter. Imagine finding that kind of treasure in your pocket change. It's proof that even the smallest piece of history can carry unimaginable worth. So, coin collectors, keep your eyes sharp and your curiosity alive. Every coin has a story, and sometimes that story is worth a fortune. Top 3, we're exploring one of the most fascinating coins from the legendary 50 State Quarters series, the United States of America State Quarter Dollar from Illinois, issued in 2003. At first glance, it may look like an ordinary quarter in your pocket change, but if you take a closer look, you'll discover a world of secrets, history, and hidden value. So listen carefully, because this story might inspire you to check your coin collection tonight. One special coin could be worth a lot more than you imagine. The Illinois quarter was released in 2003 to honor the 21st state to join the Union. The design beautifully captures the spirit and heritage of the land of Lincoln, a nickname that proudly represents the home state of Abraham Lincoln, one of the most beloved presidents in American history. This coin isn't just currency. It's a tribute to a legacy that shaped the nation. On the obverse side of the coin, you'll see the timeless portrait of George Washington, the founding father who appears on every quarter. But flip the coin to its reverse side, and you're greeted by an image packed with symbolism and meaning. The design features a young Abraham Lincoln standing proudly in front of an outline of the state of Illinois. You'll also notice a Chicago skyline in the background, an image of farmland, and the state's nickname, Land of Lincoln, written across. Surrounding all of this are 21 stars, representing Illinois' position as the 21st state to enter the Union. This combination of Lincoln's legacy, Chicago's growth, and the agricultural roots of Illinois makes this quarter a perfect portrait of the state's history and strength. But while the design alone is worth admiration, what truly excites coin collectors are the rare versions of this coin. The ones that contain errors, unique characteristics, and minting surprises that turn them from a simple 25-cent piece into a collector's dream. The 2003 Illinois quarter was minted at 3 different U.S. mint facilities: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. And while millions of them were produced for circulation, only a very small number stand out because of their extraordinary quality or rare minting errors. One of the most famous and sought-after errors is the double die error, where parts of the design, like Lincoln's figure or the lettering, appear slightly doubled. This happens when the die used to strike the coin shifts or misaligns between strikes. For collectors, spotting this doubling, especially around Lincoln's hat, the state outline, or the inscriptions, can mean discovering a rare and valuable piece. Another intriguing error found on some Illinois quarters is the off-center strike, where the image is not perfectly centered on the coin. Instead, it appears shifted or cut off along one edge, leaving part of the coin blank. The more dramatic the off-center strike, the more valuable the coin becomes, especially if the full date and United States of America are still visible. These kinds of coins are considered minting marvels because they are so rare and visually striking. There's also a fascinating variant known as the clipped planchet error, which occurs when the blank metal disc used to create the coin overlaps during cutting. This leaves a crescent-shaped missing section on the edge of the coin. While it may look like damage to some, collectors know this as a genuine minting error, and such coins can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on the size and clarity of the clip, but it doesn't stop there. Some Illinois quarters have been discovered with die cracks or cuts, raised lines, or lumps of metal caused by breaks in the minting die. These imperfections give each coin a unique personality and make them even more collectible. The larger and more visible the die crack, the rarer and more valuable the coin becomes. Even without errors, an Illinois quarter can still be incredibly valuable if it's in mint state condition, meaning it has never been used or circulated. Coins that have been kept in protective cases or sets since 2003 can maintain their original shine and sharpness, making them highly desirable. Professional grading services like PCGS or NGC often certify these coins, and those with grades MS 68 or higher can reach impressive prices at auctions. Proof versions of the Illinois quarter, particularly those minted in silver at the San Francisco Mint, are also considered collector favorites. Their mirror-like finish and perfect detailing make them prized additions to any collection. What makes this coin even more meaningful is its tribute to Abraham Lincoln's journey, from a humble Illinois farm boy to the leader who preserved the Union. The coin reminds collectors of perseverance, courage, and the American dream, values that make it more than just a piece of metal. And for coin lovers, it's that connection to history, combined with rarity and condition, that creates true value. Over the years, stories have circulated of collectors and even casual finders discovering rare Illinois quarters in their change, only to learn they're worth far more than 25 cents. Some error coins and high-grade specimens have gone on to fetch jaw-dropping prices in coin shows and auctions. So if you happen to have a few state quarters lying around, it's worth taking a moment to examine them closely. Check for doubling in the letters, misaligned images, clipped edges, or unusual markings. You never know when a small imperfection might turn into a life-changing discovery. And now comes the moment every collector waits for, the value reveal. A rare 2003 Illinois state quarter dollar, featuring unique minting errors or preserved in flawless, uncirculated condition, has been known to sell for an incredible $80,000. Yes, you heard that right. $80,000 for a single quarter. That's the magic of coin collecting. Turning something ordinary into something extraordinary. So, my fellow collectors, take another look at your coins. Maybe that Illinois quarter sitting in your collection is worth far more than you think. Top 4, we're diving deep into one of the most beautiful and historically rich coins from the United States, the Mississippi State quarter dollar from 2002. Don't be fooled by its small size. This coin carries deep meaning, stunning artistry, and in some rare cases, a value that will truly leave you amazed. So stay tuned till the end, because this story might just make you look at your pocket change a little differently. The Mississippi quarter was released in 2002 as part of the U.S. Mint's famous 50 state quarters program, one of the most successful coin series in American history. This program honored every state with a unique design that represented its heritage, culture, and pride. Mississippi became the 20th state to join the Union in 1817, and this coin perfectly captures the charm and natural beauty that the state is known for. It's not just currency. It's a tribute to history, art, and Southern elegance all rolled into one. On the obverse side, you'll find the classic portrait of George Washington, a design by John Flanagan that has appeared on U.S. quarters since 1932. But when you flip the coin over, you're greeted by a breathtaking sight: the state flower of Mississippi, the magnolia blossom. This design, created by Donna Weaver, beautifully displays two large, detailed magnolias in full bloom. The inscriptions read Mississippi, 1817, and the proud phrase the Magnolia State. The intricate petals and graceful lines of the design symbolize purity, hospitality, and the natural beauty of the Deep South. It's one of the most elegant and artistically loved designs in the entire state quarter series. But what makes this coin even more fascinating and valuable is its rarity and minting errors. While millions of Mississippi quarters were produced in 2002 at the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints, only a handful contain the kinds of errors or flawless details that transform them from ordinary change into collector's gold. And it's these tiny differences that can make one coin worth thousands of dollars. One of the most well-known and valuable versions is the double die error. In this error, certain parts of the design, such as the petals, lettering, or the word Mississippi, appear doubled under magnification. This happens when the coin die strikes the blank planchet twice, but slightly out of alignment. For sharp-eyed collectors, spotting a double die is like finding buried treasure. The clearer the doubling, the higher the coin's potential value. Another fascinating type of error found on some Mississippi quarters is the off-center strike. This occurs when the coin is not properly centered during minting, causing the design to appear shifted to one side with a blank crescent on the other. The more off-center the strike, while still keeping the date visible, the more valuable the coin becomes. Some of these coins can sell for astonishing amounts, depending on how dramatic the error is. There's also the clipped planchet error, which gives the coin a curved, bite mark along its edge. This happens when the blank discs used to make coins overlap during the cutting process. Instead of being rejected, a few of these slipped through and were struck normally. Today, these oddly shaped coins are considered rare collector's pieces and can command high prices depending on their condition and size of the clip. Collectors also keep an eye out for die cracks and cuts, raised lines or lumps of metal caused by cracks in the die during striking. These imperfections can appear on the magnolia petals, the rim, or even across the lettering. While they may seem like small flaws, they actually make each coin unique, increasing its desirability among serious collectors. And of course, condition matters a great deal. Coins that were never circulated, meaning they've never been used in daily transactions, are known as mint state coins. These coins retain their original shine, sharp details, and perfect surfaces. A Mississippi quarter graded MS 68 or higher by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC can fetch impressive sums, especially if it's a rare error coin. Proof versions struck at the San Francisco Mint, with their mirror-like backgrounds and frosted details, are also highly sought after, particularly in silver editions. Beyond its rarity and errors, the Mississippi quarter holds emotional and historical value. The magnolia, often associated with the grace and strength of the South, makes this coin a poetic symbol of American beauty and resilience. Collectors don't just see metal here, they see a story about nature, craftsmanship, and a moment in time when artistry and national pride were captured in a single quarter. Over the years, stories have emerged of collectors discovering these rare 2002 Mississippi quarters in old rolls of coins or tucked away in drawers, only to find out that they were holding something incredibly valuable. It's moments like those that make coin collecting such an exciting journey. Every coin has potential, and every find could lead to something extraordinary. So, if you have a few state quarters lying around, take a closer look at your Mississippi coins. Examine them carefully under good light or with a magnifying glass. Check for doubling, off-center strikes, clipped edges, or even unusual lines and marks. You never know, that simple coin sitting in your pocket might be one of the rarest treasures from the 2002 minting year. And now comes the moment you've all been waiting for, the value reveal. A rare 2002 Mississippi State quarter dollar, with striking minting errors or preserved in flawless, uncirculated condition, has been known to sell for an incredible $78,000. Yes, you heard that right. $78,000 for a single quarter. It's hard to believe that something so small could be worth so much, but that's the beauty of coin collecting. Every coin carries history, mystery, and sometimes a hidden fortune. So, my fellow coin enthusiasts, don't overlook the coins in your collection. One of them could be your golden ticket. Top 5. We're traveling back to the year 2000. A year that marked not only the beginning of a new century, but also the release of one of the most elegant and historically rich coins in the U.S. Mint State Quarter program, the United States of America State Quarter Dollar from Maryland. This quarter may look like just another coin in your collection, but it hides a story of pride, artistry, and in some cases, astonishing value. So stay with me till the very end. You might be holding something truly extraordinary without even realizing it. The Maryland State Quarter was released in 2000, and it proudly represents the seventh state to join the Union. As part of the U.S. Mint's 50 State Quarters program, each coin told the story of a different state through unique designs that captured its history, spirit, and culture. The Maryland Quarter does exactly that, showcasing a symbol of honor and strength that connects to the state's proud heritage. On the obverse side, you'll see the traditional portrait of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan, which has graced the quarter since 1932. But the real beauty lies on the reverse side. The back of the coin features the historic Maryland State House, one of the most iconic buildings in American history. Located in Annapolis, it's the oldest state capitol still in continuous use, and it's where George Washington famously resigned his commission as commander of the Continental Army in 1783. Surrounding the State House are white oak branches, symbolizing strength, endurance, and Maryland's state tree. The design, with its graceful details and powerful symbolism, perfectly captures the dignity and tradition of the old line state. Now, while millions of these coins were minted in the year 2000 at the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints, only a few special ones have features that make them incredibly rare and valuable. These are the coins that every collector dreams of finding, the ones that stand out because of minting errors, variations, or perfect conditions. One of the most intriguing varieties of the Maryland Quarter is the double die error. This occurs when the die strikes the coin more than once but slightly out of alignment, creating a faint but visible doubling effect on the design. You can often see this doubling on the letters, numbers, or even around the edges of the State House dome. For trained collectors, spotting one of these is like finding a hidden gem. The clearer the doubling, the more valuable the coin. Another fascinating type is the off-center strike, which happens when the blank coin planchet isn't properly aligned under the press during minting. The result is a coin with part of the design missing and a blank crescent on one side. These off-center coins are extremely popular among collectors because no two are ever the same. The more dramatic the misalignment, the higher the value, especially if the date is still visible. There are also examples of clipped planchet errors, where a portion of the coin's edge appears to have been cut off. This occurs when the metal sheet used to create the blanks overlaps during the cutting process. Instead of being discarded, a few of these mistakes slip through and enter circulation, becoming prized collector's pieces. These coins have unique crescent-shaped clips that make them instantly recognizable. Some Maryland quarters also show signs of die cracks or cuts, raised lines, or lumps of metal caused by breaks in the die during striking. You might notice these lines across the lettering, on the building, or near the edges of the coin. While they might seem minor, they're actually signs of minting imperfection that can significantly raise the coin's worth. Collectors also look for proof coins or mint state examples, which were never circulated. Proof coins, struck at the San Francisco Mint, have mirror-like surfaces and sharp, frosted details. Mint state coins, especially those graded MS, 68 or higher by PCGS or NGC, are in pristine, untouched condition and often sell for astonishing prices. These are the coins that shine like the day they were made, with every line and curve perfectly preserved. What makes the Maryland Quarter even more special is its place in history. Released in the first year of the new millennium, it symbolizes both the past and the future. The State House stands as a reminder of America's founding principles, while the coin itself marks a turning point in modern numismatics, a time when millions of Americans began collecting state quarters for the first time. This widespread interest means that while many people have seen a Maryland quarter, very few have held one of the rare versions that hold true collector value. Over the years, stories have surfaced of people discovering these rare Maryland quarters in rolls of coins, old collections, or even pocket change, completely unaware of their potential worth. Imagine finding a small, ordinary-looking coin that turns out to be worth thousands of dollars. That's what makes coin collecting so exciting. You never know what treasures are waiting to be discovered right in your hands. If you have a Maryland quarter from the year 2000, take a moment to inspect it carefully. Look closely at the inscriptions, the details around the State House, and the overall condition. Is the design perfectly centered? Do you notice any doubling or unusual marks? If so, you could be holding one of the rarest quarters from the early 2000s. Even small differences can make a massive impact on value, especially when combined with pristine preservation. And now, it's time for the moment you've been waiting for. The value reveal. A rare Maryland state quarter dollar from the year 2000, especially one with unique minting errors or flawless uncirculated condition, has been known to sell for an incredible $76,000. Yes, you heard that right. $76,000 for a single quarter. It's amazing how something so small, something we often overlook, can turn out to be worth a small fortune. So, my fellow collectors, the next time you check your coin jar or wallet, pay close attention to those state quarters. One of them might be your hidden treasure. If you enjoyed learning about this remarkable coin and want to explore more rare and valuable coins from around the world, make sure to like this video, subscribe to World Rare Coins, and hit the bell icon so you never miss another exciting discovery. Thank you for watching, and as always, happy collecting.